Nerd Reactor, roll out.
What's up, Reactorites? I'm John.
And I'm Earth 2 Mike, Bob.
And we just got out of watching Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's the sequel to The Force Awakens. This one's directed by Rian Johnson. And Mark Hamill's back. So let's get to the meat of it. The movie so far overall, what do you think about it?
I really enjoyed it. It was rather surprising. I kind of wasn't sure what to expect. I felt like the trailers gave away a lot of the film, and then I saw the film, and the trailers were so misleading and did not include any of the best parts of the film. So I was pleasantly surprised and very happy with the outcome. But this was a very good film. I think it's up there with Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah, so this is definitely dark, and there are a lot of struggles. I love that.
Yes.
And the characters, let's say Mark Hamill, he's back as Luke Skywalker. It's like when you see him and you see Rey together, you get excited like about the possibilities, kind of like Yoda and Luke training together in Empire Strikes Back.
I was more excited for Luke and R2-D2 to get back together because of Force Awakens and how R2 is all sad.
Yeah.
I even think during the film, you caught me crying a little bit.
Oh yeah, you were tearing up. I was like, is he like rubbing his eyes?
I teared up a lot, but there was one scene that it wasn't even sad, that I just was like flowing.
Yeah. It was, okay, so I'm thinking that scene that you're talking about is probably the same scene as me, because the only reason I knew was that I was tearing up too. So I looked over on your side, I was like, yep, that got him too. Yep. So yeah, that was a good scene revolving around Luke, and that's all we're going to say. And Carrie Fisher, she's back as Leia Organa, and here she has, I think, a lot more to do compared to Force Awakens.
Yes, definitely. Same with, obviously, Luke, Mark Hamill. It felt like every character had their own arc in this film, their own story, but it was balanced out. No, it was perfectly balanced. There was no issue with too much screen time for one, too little for another. I thought it was great.
Oh yeah, and it does remind me how, like, the characters they break up into their own little stories, kind of like Empire Strikes Back, where Luke is doing his own thing with Yoda, and Han Solo and the rest are like doing their thing.
I mean, the ending was very reminiscent of Empire Strikes Back too, if you think about it. It was just a heck of a film, really fun. You're all gonna love it, I think.
Rose. Let's talk about Rose.
Rose. So everybody wants to know about Rose. Rose is played by, I believe, it's Kelly Marie Tran, Vietnamese gal who's very supportive of her culture. And we weren't really sure what to expect with her. We thought, is she just a new character they're adding in? But she was awesome. She was fantastic. She was charming. She was, she was strong.
I think my favorite thing about her character is that she's down to earth. She's someone that just knows about the resistance and the people, and she's like that very important element about the show. She's
heart,
yeah.
Yeah, she was very much the heart of the film. And her and John Boyega balanced so good or well together.
Yeah, and like that's our favorite new character.
Yeah, for sure was my favorite new character.
I want to talk about our least favorite new character, and that would be, for me at least, Benicio del Toro's character.
Yeah.
He might have more stuff to do in the future.
He's such a good actor, and that was just he was so underused.
Very underused, and his character was kind of off-putting for me. Like, I'm not sure what they're trying to go for in terms of his personality. I'm like, it kind of threw me off.
Little like Lando, maybe, like, I don't know, but it was just meh. What about returning characters?
Returning characters, still my favorite, Poe Dameron and Finn. They're both great. They're both lovable.
Yes.
And just watching them on screen is a delight.
Yeah. And I mean, Rey was good too. She did have some of the similar struggles as the first one. So, although maybe she developed in some ways compared to the first film, I feel like they could have done a lot more with her and with Kylo Ren's character. But they were still, when they were together on screen, and you'll know what I talk about, or what I'm talking about when you actually see it, they had some really, really great scenes together. It's like individually, but when they were together, 2 thumbs up. And then Snoke, you know, obviously Snoke is the supreme leader who...
Yeah.
Uh,
we can't say much, but all I'm going to say about Snoke is I was very disappointed.
He's not very supreme. It was weird because this film was so dark.
Mm-hmm.
It was so dark in a way that we haven't really seen. Maybe Rogue One. I think more so than Rogue One, especially these characters that you love. Even Chewie has kind of a dark but fun scene.
Yeah,
you know,
it's kind of like dark humor.
Yeah, it's really funny though. The Porgs are really cute. You know, they're funny too. But they balanced out the darkness of this film with a lot of humor, almost like Thor Ragnarok amount of humor.
I wouldn't say as much as Thor Ragnarok, but there's like some slight touches here and there.
More than any other Star Wars film, for sure. Very enjoyable though. I was pleasantly surprised. And BB-8, oh my gosh, BB-8.
He's crazy.
Yeah. BB-8 is very much like Poe Dameron. You'll see.
Yeah, so in this movie, they really built up BB-8, but by doing that, they really knocked down C-3PO.
Yeah,
so now
yeah.
C-3PO is like a joke.
Yeah, he kind of is. I think they're just introducing. R2 is still good, but BB-8 was the best droid. Like R2 is still great, but he was great in this film.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parts of this film was actually the music. Although it's John Williams, right?
John Williams, yeah.
There was one scene where I started tearing up and getting the chills again because they brought back my favorite scene from A New Hope. Was basically brought back into this film with the exact same music, the exact same sequence, and it was it was incredible. So great job on the music and the tone of throughout the film. And then what was the general's name?
General Hux.
Oh yeah, General Hux. He was.
Yeah, I liked him better in this one than Force Awakens.
You know, I didn't really remember him from the first one. Like he wasn't noticeable. He was there in Force Awakens, but in this one, he was on screen a lot, and he was funny. He was dark. He was, deceptive. He was everything you would expect
from General Hux.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I enjoyed his character. All the characters were pretty good in this film.
Yeah. And of course, every Star Wars movie has to have a battle. So this one has that. It's a completely different take on what you would expect of a Star Wars battle.
Yes.
And it's kind of interesting. It's visually appealing with some of the stuff they pull off.
And,
yeah. So those were our thoughts. We enjoyed the movie, and there's a lot of twists and turns. It's very dark, and a lot of the characters, they have their moments to shine. I just want to mention like Mark Hamill. He's got a lot of little one-liners. Awesome. And yeah, this is a lot of sad moments too.
Well, on that one, they actually did some flashbacks of Luke Skywalker, and he was a little younger, not from the original trilogy, but just younger compared to what's going on in this film. I just saw Sebastian Stan's face.
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah,
so
that's all I saw during those scenes, and you'll see, and it's so similar. It's insane. But no, I had a lot of fun with this film. It was fantastic to watch. The other big point of this film is when Force Awakens ended, you kind of had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
This film, I felt when it was the last 5 minutes, I was like, oh, I don't really have any questions. Like,
yeah, they were really
it gave me a lot of answers. I was settled, and then this one freaking scene, and all of a sudden you're like, so many questions now. So
I think what you're talking about for that scene, like it could be it's open ended, but this kind of felt like the conclusion. Like it feels like the last part of a trilogy.
And maybe the introduction to a new one?
Yeah, but then we know this is a trilogy, so...
Yeah, there's still one more, so...
Yeah, it kind of wraps up nicely, and that's it. But I can't wait to see Star Wars Episode 9 and see how that turns out. So those are our thoughts on the movie. If you've seen the movie, let us know your thoughts on the comments below. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel. With that said, I'm John.
And I'm Earth 2 Mike, a.k.a. Bob.
And we'll see you guys next time.